So, welcome to this week's episode of Survivorboy. Once again, nature has proven to be a extremely relentless mistress. It snowed last night, quite a bit. So, we're going to have to change our circumstances and move on to where we're, I don't know. Okay. So what we're going to do is, there is a sickness known as snow blindness. And snow blindness can cause me to not be able to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find, because as we all know, as we come out into the wilderness, man has probably already been here. And if I'm going to show you how to make glass bottle and a little bit of this material I found in the backpack. I'm going to show you how to make some phenomenal sun repellent goggles that'll keep the sun out of my eyes, allow me to see and protect my vision so that I can travel further without any harm. So I'll show you how to do that. I set up myself a workstation. There was waterproofing material in the backpack, and I wrapped it around the actual pack, and I put it on the ground, so I set up a workstation. I got to keep everything dry. Out here, all by myself with no cameraman, I got to be careful. So I'm going to show you how to make a set of goggles to keep the sun from hurting my eyes. So I have my bottle here, my glass bottle, and I have this material, and this is going to act as a strap around the goggle so it'll keep it on my head. This will act as a lens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a technique called the what was it? It was called the Dugginson shaving technique, taught to me by Ralph Dugginson back in 1987. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create glass shavings, and these glass shavings I'm going to compile into a lens to cover my eyes. So let me show you how to do that. We take the bottle at a 45-degree angle, and we take the knife and put it at a 90-degree angle, and then we scrape off the actual glass. Just like that. Starting to compile. Okay, so after compressing the glass, I have made a set of goggles. Essentially what this does, we have a reflective outside, and we have a yellow interior. Yellow is a color that will keep the white from reflecting into my eyes. So now, I have this phenomenal set of goggles, and I just wanted to take a minute to thank everybody who taught me all of these lessons that allow me to survive, because I am all out alone, all by myself out here. And it is very helpful that, I learned all these. So what we're going to do is I'm going to continue in a northeasterly direction, and I'm going to see if I can find myself some food. I have a few strips of the mungface left, mungface jerky, and I'm going to hike for about 5 or 6 miles, and then I'm going to stop, have something to eat, refresh myself, and I'm going to keep going. So let's go. I am walking along the path on the northeasterly direction, and I notice on the ground here these absolutely titanic footprints. And I mean, like, let me give you a reference. They're absolutely enormous. I mean, like, look, here's my footprint. Let's do this the easy way. My footprint, whatever that is. So it's either a rabbit or a southeastern timber wolf. But what are they doing way up here? Whatever it is, it's definitely meat. I might have to make a weapon. Coming along my path here, I notice deer tracks. Deer tracks that go well off my trail. This is the hard route. This way is very difficult. This is the way I have to go. It's much easier, and it's still in the northeasterly direction. Here we are. I told you I have to make myself a weapon, because when I was checking out those deer tracks, I noticed wolf tracks, and they're setting up a flanking maneuver, sometimes called in the war as the I gotcha maneuver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a weapon, because they're after the deer, and if they don't find their deer, they're going to come after me. So I want to be well defended. So I've got this elder cedar spruce. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a portion of it with my knife here, and I'm going to attach the knife to the branch itself, giving me a very fine weapon for long range to keep them away from me. So I'm going to find a spot. Now this is very crucial because if you're in the woods and I take my thumb off, what am I going to do? I'm going to turn all this beautiful white snow red. So I'm going to have to go ahead and be careful, secure my hand, secure the branch, secure my grip on this. My accuracy training in North Dakota is really paying off here. I am hitting my mark exactly every single time. I pulled my sleeves up because this is going to take a little while. Excellent. All right. Okay. So I have it. This is a fantastic weapon. Essentially what I did was I found some electrical tape in the actual first aid kit. And then I was able to wind that around after driving a wedge in between the stick and the actual knife itself. Essentially, this weapon is good for thrusting, but it's good to keep a distance between me and my foes. So, it's pretty good. Yeah. It's good for all kinds of things. Even. So, it's pretty good for what it does. And I feel comfortable and it'll keep me safe. And it's also excellent as a walking stick. Just be sure when you're walking that you don't slip forward and your face will hit that edge. All right, so I'm going to gather up my stuff and continue that way. You know, out here in the wilderness, when you're by yourself, it's easy to forget things. And you can see there's several inches of snow out here right now. And I always keep with me two things. My utility knife and a book that I wrote back in 1996 called The Wilderness and Travel Medicine. I always have this with me because there's always something that will pertain to what's going on in my environment when I'm out surviving. Perfect example. We have frost nip and frostbite. This is extremely useful if I'm out here by myself in the wilderness in the snow, where I am right now. Should that happen, I at least have something to guide me. It's my wilderness Bible, and I suggest you pick it up. Absolutely beautiful out here. But, you know, beauty is also really dangerous. I can settle down in a spot and really look at some of this absolutely gorgeous scenery and get frostbite. Anyways, so I'm in a bit of a predicament. I seem to have lost the trail, and I'm not entirely sure which way it left off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to retrace my footsteps, and I'm going to go back and see if I can find that trail. All right. I'm going to take this time to tell you folks a little story. It was back in 2006, so not too long ago. I was trying to survive in Tacoma, Washington, and I was with a friend of mine. We were doing dual survival, which is a lot easier, I'm not going to lie to you, but so on a path very similar to this, a friend of mine came across a large Kodiak bear. He fought with it for 3.5 hours, finally taking the bear down with his patented hammer right hook, broke the bear's skull wide open, and we had a phenomenal dinner that night. But the point of the story is, you don't know how lucky you're going to get in the wilderness, and you don't know how unlucky you're going to get. So be prepared for any odds. He was prepared. I trained for that hammer right hook. It took me 8 years to master it. but I'm doing this for you folks. Some of you don't have all the training I have, so I showed you how to make a weapon. Do I really need it? Absolutely not. Do you need it? Yes. Okay, so I'm still on the path, but it took a sharp right turn, and I want to go in a northeasterly direction, and that way leads me just plain east. I want to continue northeast. I want to stick to my guns. The only problem is I have to go over this. So I'm going to head up and over this now. I got to be careful. I have a knife, but this is a mountain. I do not want to get knife face. But this whole thing is covered with snow. Got to find a footing. Oh, that was cold. Okay. So, here I am. I climbed this mountainscape, and I gotta say, this is pretty tough alone. All right, so this is still a northeasterly direction, but as you can see, it's pretty dangerous. So I gotta head in a that way direction, and I'm off. I'll take you out there. Oh yeah, Michaela cat. Oh yeah, Michaela cat. I studied in China for about 20 years. Excellent spear techniques. This is just absolutely very rough terrain, thank you. And I gotta stop up here. I'm gonna stop up here on this plateau. I'm gonna have something to eat. I've got to fill myself a little bit. Join me for lunch. I'm glad I have this as a table here. This essentially is all the food I have left. I have the mung face jerky, which took me about 30 minutes to make. And then I took the mung face skin and I sliced it and I laid it on a tree for about 45 minutes. And without its poison inside of it, it deteriorates and turns into this dry piece. So I'm going to ration myself a few of this. So, you know, should be enough for the journey home. I'm going to continue my northeasterly path. Just got to get a little bit of energy in me. And then if I, all right. I have enough food energy in me now, and I'm going to wrap this up. Just sound of success. All right. That was nice and wrapped up. All right. That should be enough food and energy to sustain me for at least another few hours. But that is not a good enough source of food, so I'm going to continue outwards, and I'm going to continue in a northeasterly direction, see what I find. I got a feeling right here something's coming, something big. Let's continue. Let's go. Oh yeah, Michaela cat. Oh yeah, Michaela cat. Here we are, continuing the journey of Survivorboy, and we are. Oh, there's something in the distance, that way. This is either a really big break or a terrible tragedy. But regardless, conditions are now. We must figure it out, and I have to get over there.
As I continued my journey in this long Connecticut winter, I had no idea what was ahead of me. I was about to find out that these woods held more than I could possibly imagine.
I'm gonna strafe inside his cabin. I'm gonna call a universal greeting, because if there is something hostile in there, I don't want to piss it off. Ba with grana with mini bang. Okay, no response. Let's head in. Regardless, I'm going to keep myself armed. Here's the door. I am armed. Is there anybody in there? I'm coming in. This place is fantastic. Look at all of this. I can't believe this. This is a haven in the middle of nowhere. It may smell funky, but it's got a roof, it's warm, it's got amenities. I'm gonna see what I can find. I'll come back. Up here in this cabin, doesn't have a name, but you know, has to be some people that were here. I mean, there's so much stuff here. I even found a set of deadwood nunchucks. Training these with Taiwan, in Taiwan. Fire extinguisher, safety first. We have several cots, both on the floor here and in the loft. I do not want to take from this cabin. This is a safe haven for other people besides myself. So I do not want to just take from here. So I'm going to look around and see what I can find, if there's anything, you know, reasonable that I can take a little bit for myself on my journey. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to find something to eat. I'm going to have a little bit to eat. And I'll record a bit. Good. I've got several blankets up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these for warmth and shake it out in case there's any arachnospantulas. They are an extremely, extremely poisonous spider. Doesn't seem to be. Now, normally, you're supposed to take your boots off. You're supposed to take your boots off to keep from constricting, you know, blood flow, but I'm going to go ahead and keep them on. I'm only going to sleep for a couple of hours. All right, it's been about, based on the way the sun is, it's been about 4 hours. I'm going to get some water on me, and I'm going to circle the cabin just to get my body temperature back up, because I got pretty cold over the last couple of hours. There may be a tarp to keep me protected from rain, but there isn't anything to keep the warmth in here at all. I tried lighting a fire, but it couldn't retain heat, so I'm going to try and repair that, but I don't see how I have the means. So I'm going to get something to eat out of my pack here. I found some food over there. I'll just eat a little bit of it, and I'll continue on my way. Okay, so there's a shelf with a bunch of amenities, such as right here. I believe these are matches. You know, there's so much up here, and I really don't want to, one touch can opener, I really don't want to take away a little bit of tobacco, some deodorant, and look at this. beautiful kitchen knife, some lighters. You know, I don't want to take from these people because this could be what's known as a communal cabin, and a communal cabin exists for a place where you can go to in the middle of the woods, and you'll have a place to stay, you'll have something to eat, but there's a rule with a communal cabin. If you're going to take something, you got to leave something, and you should always leave something at a communal cabin. So I'm not going to take much. I'm going to rest for a few hours here, and then I'm going to leave something here. I can't take from these guys. These are the people that make America America. These are the people with the dream that say, why can't I build a house in the woods that's tax-free? Why can't I build a place of 100% pure freedom? And that's exactly what this place is. This place is 100% pure freedom. And I'm going to keep it that way. So I'm going to see if I can light a fire. But I don't want to waste the wood. So yet another way that Mungface has proven its worthiness. When its skin is dried, it is a phenomenal fire starter. Now, I'm not going to use this to directly make a fire, because it will not, it'll act as a candle. That's about it. What I can use as a great fire starter. So, I got my book of matches that I found, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. That will burn for hours. And what that's going to do is, it's going to act as a great fire starter that I can lay logs on top of it, and I can actually get a fire going. It's beautiful. All right. Secure this place. The high grade lock. Good. Nice and secure. Remember this? All right. A high grade, high quality psychological enhancing tool. This has really been one hell of a trip. Now I'm going to probably find my way back to civilization. I'm going to head that way. I got to go pick up my stuff that I left back. I'm going to go that way. Since I came in a northeasterly direction, I'm going to head backwards. Okay. So I'm going to head backwards. I came in a northeasterly direction. I'm going to head in a southwesterly direction. I'm going to head back the way I came. That will lead me back to civilization. I got to say, though, to be completely honest, surviving these Connecticut wildernesses is pretty rough stuff, and I commend anyone who's able to do it. I was able to find a refuge, I was able to find a source of food, I was able to find ways to keep myself, sustain myself alive, and protected and safe. So I'm going to head backwards and get back to civilization. So I finally made it out. The exit to civilization. We'll see you next time on Survivorboy. Oh yeah!
Next season on Survivorboy.
We are here in Nantucket, Maine. This is the real deal. Now, you could see the sky is very blue and the sun is indeed out. But it is about 11 degrees out here right now. And it is very cold.